It is my pleasure to welcome in Florida State head coach Mike Norvell to our Transfer Portal All Access show. Coach, thank you so much for being here. How you doing?
Doing well. Wrapping up spring practice. We had our spring showcase on Saturday. Everything went really well. Guys competed at a high level, and we stayed healthy. For the most part. So that was a great weekend, and have our last practice here today.
A lot of exciting things happening down in Tallahassee. We're all talking about the transfer portal on this show. So I've got to ask first off, this is portal window number 2. So how is your strategy for maybe this spring window differ from how you use that winter window?
Well, you always continue to evaluate, guys that are going in. Really, you continue to look at your roster if there's any position, needs or opportunities to get better. It's things that we'll always evaluate. But for me, I really like to emphasize, the first window, and you're trying to get guys here in January. For us, as much about building a team and a group of guys together that can really set the foundation of those relationships here in the spring semester. Obviously carrying that over into the summer. I mean, last year we did have a couple newcomers that joined in the summer, but it really is a unique perspective to each individual, and teams are ever changing. But for us, we're always going to evaluate it and to see if there is the right fit to come into our program here in the summer.
Yeah, definitely got to stay on your toes there. You mentioned it. You just had your spring showcase on the day that the portal window actually opened. So what has it been like balancing this window with everything else happening, everything else you're balancing in this spring window?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty quiet, for us, just other than focus on improving, getting better. Um, when it comes to the guys that we had, I want to say it was 9 transfers that started up in January. We had 11 newcomers, from the high school ranks that were able to come in, and so we've had it was a good group that started for this spring semester, and now just seeing those guys and how they've grown throughout the 14 practices up till today. I mean, it's really been good, and we got a great group of young men that have come and kind of gelled in with a great returning cast that we have from last year's team. So really excited about what this team's going to be, and like I said, there hasn't been a whole lot of activity around here up to this point, other than just focusing on practice. But we'll see how the next couple of weeks go.
You certainly do not manage all of this alone. How much has adding a general manager in a Derek Ray changed your eval process? How much has he helped?
No, I mean, it's been great, and Derek is remarkable at what he does. Does a wonderful job in helping make sure that as a big picture approach, that we're all staying connected, and make sure that we're efficient in the information that is out there. If somebody does go in the portal, or if something within our own roster needs to be evaluated, Derek does a wonderful job with that. We've got a great staff, within all of our personnel wing of our program. And I think it's really helped our football team, and the guys that we've been able to bring in, getting the right fits, and they've been very productive. When they come in, and not only just for the 1 or 2 years that they're here, but just making an impact for the identity of this program, and what we're building.
In your first few cycles at Florida State, the portal was almost used as a necessity in order to kind of flip that roster and culture. But now in year 4, you're still finding value in it. So how have you realized that this is a recruiting tool that can continue to be used to put together a roster even after maybe that initial turnover?
Well, I mean, I think each team's going to be different, and we evaluate every position, of potential needs of what we're looking for, what fits, and then it still has to be the right young man. And everybody has a different journey to getting to this point, but collectively, as long as they all have the similar mindset, we believe that we can all gel together and continue to grow where this program is capable of going. But you look at, I'll use receiver as an example. A year ago, we signed 4 transfer receivers, and guys that Johnny Wilson, obviously had a huge impact this last year. Micah Pittman, Winston Wright, and Deuce Spann were guys we thought were all the right fit for what we're doing. We didn't sign a high school receiver 2 years ago, and now this year we only focused on high school receivers, and all those guys are returning. It's been really good for our program, and just being able to do that within each position. I think you see the balance that we've been able to have. This past year, we're about 65% high school signees, and 35% transfers. So I thought it was a good mix, and you really like the foundation that we're building and how we're going through the process, utilizing the portal.
Yeah, along the lines of finding the right guy, according to our rankings here at 24/7, 3 of the 5 highest rated players in your portal class are from non-Power 5 schools. How do you evaluate players from the FCS or even the Group of 5 ranks when trying to figure out how they're going to fare versus Power 5 competition?
Well, yeah, I mean, some of it is a projection. You look at Jared Verse, a year ago was coming from the FCS level. Had great success there. Had played a couple of Power Five opponents, and we felt very confident about the skill set of what we saw when you got to know the young man, of just the drive and determination and work ethic of what it would take to make that transition and continue to grow. And I think he proved right. For us, and it's really the same thing with each young man. And there's some guys that we evaluate that are playing at the Power Five level that might not be the right fit. And so really, it's if there is a position of need, if there's something, an opportunity for us to create more competition, or to be able to continue to improve our football team, really the path and where somebody comes from doesn't matter as much. And this year we were able to get 2 tight ends that came in. Jane Bell, coming from South Carolina, has been remarkable this spring. So very excited, and you got to see him compete against a lot of great teams and have wonderful production. And then Kyle Morlock came from Shorter University, and obviously playing at a little bit smaller level. But both those guys have come in the spring and proved that they belong, and I think they're going to be great players for us.
I mean, how much are you able to use Jared Verse as an example of what can happen, and that you're able to make that jump up, and we will come and we will develop you and turn you into a successful Power 5 player? Do you use his success story almost as an example of what can happen?
Absolutely, and I mean, you want to be able to point to all experiences and all examples of guys that have come through the program, because it's you take Jermaine Johnson a few years ago, and you're talking about what can be. And Jermaine came, and he invested a lot of work. He believed in what we were doing, was remarkable for our team and for our program, and played himself into a first round draft pick, and now having great success at the next level. And so when then you can point to those examples, those experiences of guys that have come and done the things necessary to play at that level. It definitely helps paint the picture for the next guy coming, and they want that to be their story. And and obviously we feel like we do a great job in helping them along the way.
These are also really good players, too. I mean, another little nugget from our rankings: your average grade per transfer is the highest of any team ranked inside our top 50. So, how were you able to attract such high quality players from this cycle in particular?
Yeah, I mean, they're great young men that we're looking for something special, and we felt like we had a great opportunity for them to come in and compete. And that's the thing that we promise them. We promise them an opportunity to compete. We talk about the development plan. Obviously the guys that we have that they're going to be able to do it with. And I mean, this is a special place, and we've really excited about the guys that joined our program, and I think we've really done a wonderful job, not only in the player but the person. And these guys, they want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and I think that's what makes it all work.
Now, unfortunately, it is an inevitability almost that players will transfer away. But when it comes to how you manage that roster retention, how do you limit those surprises this time of year?
I mean, it's always about open communication, and we have had some players that have left the program, and it's I support them in their decision and what they're doing, and sometimes it is best to look for a new situation or maybe a better opportunity to make the impact or have the experiences that guys might want or desire, and we try to be open and transparent and very honest with what we see, the plan for improvement, the plan for growth for them here within our program, and so it's an open dialogue, and you try not to have as many surprises whenever you just address all things there together. And I still support guys that have left this program, and watch them go and you work to have success in other programs. It's still there's a lot of time and a lifetime relationship that we're all going to have together.
Yeah, along those lines, the not as fun part about all of this too is you wish you could just bring in every awesome player, and you have for the most part, but it's fitting everybody in under that 85-man scholarship limit, which means there's the potential for some of those tough conversations. I mean, what are those like? You mentioned the honesty that you've got to have, but when you have to sit down and tell a player on your roster that it may be in their best interest to enter the portal and pursue other options, explain to me what those conversations look like.
Yeah, well, I mean, each journey is unique to itself, and I love talking to our players. In my exit interviews, trying to get a sense of their perspective, exactly where they are, what they how they foresee the next step within our program, and I give them my feedback. And ultimately, there's times where guys want to have more opportunities and things, and that's all part of it. And so I encourage just the open and honest approach to it, and I think that's where we've kind of got to a really good spot. And it's never tough conversations they're always going to be a challenge, but I think when you care about the individual, and you want to see them continue to grow and be able to achieve with any opportunity that they do have, sometimes a new start is might be what's best for them. And we've been able to be the beneficiaries of guys getting a new start in their career and having great success. And I'm hopeful for anybody that does leave our program that they find those same opportunities there at their next stop.
Coach, we appreciate your honesty and giving us a little peek behind the curtain into this crazy time of year. Thank you for the time.
No, absolutely, thank you for having me on, and go Knowles.